In this module, we're going to talk about prototyping. And as you may recall from the introduction, we view prototyping maybe a little bit different than you did when you started this course. Again, the common understanding of prototyping is that it's the first version of what ultimately becomes the final offer, and it follows a linear path from concept to launch. But rather, the true innovation process is much more nonlinear. It's much more iterative and cyclical, and therefore the definition we use for prototyping here at the Kellogg School is that prototypes are not first versions of final things, they're instead embodied questions. And the only job a prototype has to do is to answer the question that it's asking. And once it's done that job, you can set it aside and move along. This is a quote from Michael Schrage, who's a researcher and professor at MIT, from a book he wrote called Serious Play, and I think this encapsulates the value of prototyping perfectly. And he says the value of prototypes resides less in the models themselves than in the interactions they invite. In other words, what we're trying to do with prototypes is actually learn more about the people we're trying to serve by embodying our questions in the form of an artifact that people can interact with. So, when do you start prototyping in a design process? The answer is right away. It's not something that you wait until you've narrowed down the number of options to just a few and then invest the time and resources into making them real. You can use prototyping right up front to not only understand the needs of your customers better, but to iterate on different solutions and figure out where they ascribe value and help you make trade-offs in terms of what to pursue and what not to pursue. So we're going to talk next about the two types of prototyping and how they can be applied to your design and innovation work.